Hi, welcome to Revenue Marketing Television, the CMO Insights series. I'm your host, Jeff Pedowitz, President and CEO of the Pedowitz Group. Today, as our guest, we have Lisa Cole, who is Chief Marketing Officer of Huron. Lisa, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. I'm honored to be here.
Honored to have you. I know we both battled to get this interview scheduled, so I'm really happy we're finally doing it. I've known you for a while. As an individual participant, you've worked at so many different demand centers and different companies, and now you're running it all over at Huron. Give us a sense of what it's been like making the transition to being a consultant and now running a team.
Well, before I actually made the move to go from consultant to the client side, I had long dreamt of the day where I could stick around for the party after the consulting work was done. Now I know what that's like. It's a thrill to actually be part of the team.
Really, what is that like? Because they don't let us into those parties after it's done, so I have no idea.
I know. It didn't. But it's definitely been thrilling to be a part of the team that transformed the marketing organization and our role in the organization. But on the other side of that, it's really fun to be able to leverage the engine you've built to really have a meaningful impact. And it's great actually just witnessing the evolution of the marketers themselves as they lean into being more of a growth driver for the organization as opposed to a doer of my things. So it's been really nice to be on this side, for sure.
So what would you describe as some of your top challenges now in the role?
I think when you think about how we have transformed, and that is across people, our brand, our technology, and even the programs and how we even approach creating demand in the market, our biggest challenges, or at least at the moment, happen to be maybe shifting the mindset of marketers as they are thinking and planning and executing on their marketing strategies to be more programmatic in their work itself. I would say that's our biggest challenge. The second is, how do we continue to work to eliminate random acts of marketing and communication across the organization, and so that we can enable an ideal buyer's journey? How do we align more closely and deliver on an exceptional customer experience? So,
a lot of people talk about it, delivering a better customer experience, but from an operational perspective, it's kind of hard, isn't it?
Oh, it's exceptionally hard. It's great in theory until you start to recognize how hard it is to, frankly, make sure that every interaction builds where the last interaction left off. It certainly requires the right people and the right roles. It requires that you have the right data in your database and your technologies are integrated. And it requires a thoughtful approach to planning your marketing programs. It does require probably more investment up front before you move to execution.
So what are some of the things that you're investing in, from personnel to process to technology?
Well, we have over the last two and a half years, as we redesigned our marketing organization, we have invested heavily in hiring marketing specialists, those that have deep expertise in their marketing discipline. They prefer to work in an agile mode, and they are collaborators. They also embrace accountability. They are not necessarily marketers that are focused on look and feel or a message. They are focused on how do we move the needle in a meaningful way. So first, we invested heavily in those skill sets. And then from there, we've invested in a number of new technologies, but not just investing in different technologies, but also made the investment to make sure that those technologies are integrated and that data is flowing across so that we could deliver on a seamless experience. And we've also invested in branding and programs that would enable us to attract and engage the right audience. So it's been a fairly significant investment across all four layers, if you will, of that engine.
So can you point to some early wins where you've had a demonstrable improvement because of the focus on the transformation?
Well, we did embrace account-based marketing strategies as a way to move the needle in a meaningful way for one of our largest businesses, focused on the healthcare industry. So, the account-based programs have been quite effective, not just in building awareness for Huron in the market, but frankly also creating opportunities for us to, get our foot in the door in other areas of institutions and organizations where we may not have been.
You described a lot about what you're looking for in a modern type of person. Have skill sets overall changed dramatically in the last few years?
They have. And I think that's driven by, the way that individuals are buying consulting services. Actually, the way that we're all buying, even in the business-to-business environment, our changes in our consumer behavior, we're taking those into work with us. That has certainly required an increased focus in technology. So a number of our marketers they would either confess as being marketing scientists or marketing technologists. And so, we have seen a change there.
It's kind of interesting. These things go full circle, right? Because over the last 10 years, there's been so much focus on marketers got to learn technology. They have to learn how to be accountable. They have to learn finance, and they've become more operational. But now we're also losing sight of being storytellers, right? And controlling the brand. So it's almost like you need both, right? You got to have that left and right brain.
Well, you can have the best creative, you can have the best message in the world, but if it doesn't actually reach your audience, it's not going to have an impact. And in order to reach your audience, though, you've got to be able to, at first off, find out where they are in their watering holes, but you have to be able to deliver messages in a highly relevant, timely way. And you also have to deliver messages in a way that indicates that you are listening and you are paying attention to what it is that they've already told you. So how could you deliver that kind of experience without actually having the technology and the data and the science behind it? You just can't.
So as a consulting company, because we can relate to this, that being in services, sometimes it's a little harder to differentiate. My people are really more experienced than the other guy's people.
Right.
We've done 200 customers. The other guy's only done 175. But what are some of the things that you're doing to differentiate yourself in the marketplace?
Well, I think anyone that is selling services or solutions, I think the way to be most effective is to truly understand your customers' jobs to be done. At the end of the day, what is it that they need to accomplish? What are their needs and wants and motivations? And then be able to position your solution or your services in a way that solves for that need. And that certainly requires you to really, truly understand and not make any blanket assumptions around what you think they might need. And so as marketers, what are we doing, I guess you could say, differently? We are putting a significant amount of investment in understanding not just the profile of our ideal clients from an organization or institution perspective, but truly understanding that buying committee. And within the buying committee, the individual buying roles, what are they looking to hire a consulting firm to do? And if you can, the clearer that picture is, the more impactful your messaging that you'll be developing will be, the more effective that messaging will be. So I think when we look at, the things that we're doing, it's all about the investments in data and research, and it's all about developing a messaging that aligns with those buying roles' needs. And again, marketers have been talking about that for a very long time, but then how do you deliver messages in a way that's exceptionally relevant and customized? That's usually where marketing, the breakdown has occurred. I think this for sure. All of your clients have been talking about, being focused on the buyer, being outside in, audience centric. But the difference between strategy and messaging and execution, that gap can be fairly significant.
And it gets harder all the time, right? More channels,
right.
More divergent interests, bombardment of content. So it's relevancy, authenticity, really just focusing in on exactly, or trying as close as you can anyway, to what the customer is looking for. So as you look out ahead, if you have a crystal ball, what are the next big changes on the horizon for marketing?
Well, I don't know that we necessarily have any big changes. I think we are finally beginning to leverage the engine that we've spent the last 2.5 years building. If you think about our continued evolution, certainly is how do we continue to eliminate random acts of marketing? I believe that will drive the greatest change for our organization. Beyond that, it's truly beginning to evolve to more of a buying role centric messaging and approach. Even just the experience on our website will continue to evolve in that direction.
So you've been transforming with your team the last couple of years. So if you go out a year from now and finish the sentence, a year from now, my team at Huron will.
A year from now, my team at Huron will have eliminated random acts of marketing. They will have provided a plan or a roadmap for how we can ensure that every interaction builds where the last left off. And they'll be prepared to scale our content and social operations.
Awesome. I almost want to send you a t-shirt, with a circle on the stripe, and it says, random acts of marketing.
No random acts of marketing. You could argue no random acts of marketing, of content, of social, of email.
Let that be the rallying cry of the modern marketer, right? No more random acts, just things purposeful, data-driven, with insights that make money. All those things, right? So, Lisa, thanks so much for being on the show today. As always, your insights are really very highly valued and very much appreciated. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
You bet. You too.
Take care.